Hello, listeners. It's Madison Dinkelman.
And D. Gale.
And you're listening to the Biz Files Podcast. What's up, North Georgia? My name is Madison Dinkelman. You are watching and listening to the Biz File Podcast. I have my host here, Miss D. Gale. What's up?
Hey, good morning, Madison.
I know. It's still hot outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, I'm ready for fall.
I know,
can't
I know.
stand it. I'm tired of sweating.
All right. Tell us who we have on our podcast
We
today.
are so excited. We have our friend,
I know.
Michelle Knapp.
I know.
I have known her for years.
You have known her a long time.
We're excited
Yeah.
to have you here today.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Michelle Knapp.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Where do we start?
Where do we start? Well, I've been here in Georgia for a long time. And like
Okay.
Dee said, I've known her for a long time.
Our
Which
kids.
is so weird
Our
because we're so
kids.
young.
Oh,
So
yes.
I don't know how.
I mean, you're
how have I known
24.
you
How is this
15
happening?
years when, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Look
So-
at us.
Yeah. So Dee and I are recovering Woodstock lacrosse moms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Made it through and lived to tell about it. And our boys are amazing young adults now.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So, where did you live before Georgia? Tell us a little bit about that.
Before Georgia,
Yeah.
I am from the Cleveland, Ohio area.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I've just actually sort of hit an age where I lived in Ohio half my life, and I've now been in Georgia half my life.
All right.
So
All right.
it's interesting. It's hard
Okay.
to comprehend because, you know, in my mind, I'm a Midwestern girl, but I'm like, oh my gosh, the calendar
Right.
is starting to say
Right.
you're a Southern person.
Oh, love it. Love
I'm
it.
right there with you because
Yes.
Illinois, and now we're here in
Yes.
Georgia half
Has it been
and
about half?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Kinda
crazy.
creepy.
It is, but it's like it's always still home.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
But-
Home's always home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
you
they
wear a
have
lot
better
of red.
food.
You fit in here with the red stuff going on. Yeah. As Kentucky people,
Right.
we don't, we do blue, but I've had to get used to the red thing with the Cherokee stuff. And so
And Georgia and
Yeah.
the Falcons and everything.
I will
Yeah.
tell you,
The red
I've
and
never
black.
in my life bought anything red. We
Oh.
just don't
You don't
do
have
that.
to.
You don't do that in Kentucky.
Right.
Now that you do over on the Louisville side.
Sure.
But you don't do that on the eastern side of Kentucky. And so I've really had to get used to I bought a red sweatshirt earlier this morning when I was
Wow.
shopping. Yeah, and I was like,
Look at you
here I am.
progressing.
I know. Husband, kids, give us that 411.
I have a husband, Chris. He's amazing.
Yeah. He is amazing.
We've been married 28 years now.
Nice.
And then I have 3 adult kids, which
Yeah.
is just a whole different
Yeah. World.
animal.
right?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Like you think, oh, you're off the hook, and you
Right.
are kind of
Sure.
off the hook, but you just have different things.
Well, you
going
never
on
stop being a
now.
parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've
Just
got
different.
a 35-year-old, a 27-year-old, and a 24-year-old.
Love it.
And I have 2 grandbabies.
Oh,
Which
with
yes.
the
That-
grandbabies.
I know
So
you guys
cute.
are not there yet, but
Yeah.
it's a game
Yeah.
changer. It really is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've
We
I've
keep
heard and
asking.
seen.
My husband offered to pay
A bribe? A money
a
bribe?
bribe.
Financial
Oh,
incentive.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
It
so
is fun, though.
professionally, tell us a little bit from the beginning to where you are at now, and then we'll get
Right.
into kind of what you're
Sure.
doing now.
And Dee and I were chatting a little bit about this before off
Okay,
camera.
yeah.
When we did first move here, I had just completed my teaching degree and sort of thought about going that route and looked at prices for daycare and the options. And, we moved here without any family, that we didn't really have a good support system.
Yeah, sure.
And my husband was working quite a bit and traveled quite a bit when my kids were young. So I made the decision to be home with them, which was amazing because especially, and now because yours is hitting that
Yeah.
age, once they do get into school and into activities,
Right.
that can become a very full-time job.
Yes.
If you're,
Yeah,
Yes.
you're a taxi driver.
Yes. So I was home. I did dabble with some part-time stuff. I did a little nonprofit work.
Okay.
I did one of my biggest things I did with a very good friend, Suzanne Taylor, of mine, was we started a website that was called Scoop OTP.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. That
Okay.
was so cool. Tell Madison a little bit about Scoop.
So at the time,
This is up Madison's alley.
Yes, both of us, Suzanne especially, was a contributor for some local magazines, and we both were always around town, OTP, outside the perimeter of Atlanta.
Okay.
So that, especially when we very first moved here, we learned there was a big difference between ITP inside the perimeter and outside the perimeter.
Got it. Noted.
And, because of just trying to find new things to do, maybe even the kids' activities, the sports, we'd be all over all these different towns. So, and Suzanne and I kind of thought there was just a need for people, because what we were getting in our mailbox was just a very hyper-local publication.
Right.
About, here's what's happening, here's the events right in your neighborhood,
Sure.
and here's the new businesses. And I was like, well, what if I want to go one neighborhood over? Or what if I want to go two neighborhoods away, or whatever? What's the cool restaurant there? What is a great activity to go take your family to on the weekends?
Right.
So we sort of tried to consolidate all of that, and we didn't, we weren't going to make a print publication. We put it in website form, and every week we would share the scoop. We would say, here are the activities that are happening.
That is up my alley.
It's so cool because it was early on. I remember Suzanne first telling me about it at like a Cherokee BYB basketball. We were at the rec center.
Yes.
And I went, wow, I don't know what she's talking about. Right. But now, if you look at social media, you guys were kind of on a little
wow.
And now it's like we'd love to be able to somehow circle back and piece it all together. But it was a lot of fun.
You should do that.
So we would email out every week, here's the 5 things to do or to see. And we had some great connections. We toured the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Avalon, Truist Park, all of the new things that were getting built. We would get these backstage tours of and all that. So it was really fun. And so we did that for a handful of years. And then afterwards, I did a medical office desk job, literally just to kind of
get out of the house.
Some things up, get out of the house. Have someone else pay me versus trying to make my own.
Right.
And I will say, if you've never done a medical office job, you need to be kind to those people working at the desk when they're asking you to fill out 500 forms and all that, because it is not their fault. They're doing what they've been told to do, and they do not make the rules. And it was eye-opening and hard. So anyways, after that, and always while I was doing the Scoop OTP website, I was like, I really love this. I love knowing all these areas, and I always did love homes.
Okay.
And I was like, I really need to get into real estate. This would be such a good fit. But just, life, it takes, because it's not, I don't want to say it's insanely hard to get into real estate, but it's not as easy as some people think, you just take a test and whatever.
I'm just going to be a real estate agent tomorrow.
It's not. It does take some time. It does take a little financial setup. You've got to pay for school. You got to pay for your test. And
I heard those tests are hard.
They're really very hard. And so what I did, and also, I'll just say it, I was turning 50.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I waiting for? I'm doing this. I'm going to do this. I've been waiting for a while to do it. My kids were out of the house. I didn't, I'm like, I'm going to take, 6 months or however long it was going to take.
Yeah.
And X amount of dollars and just really focus on this. And my husband was all on board, and it just seemed to be a great time. Do I wish I could have done it earlier? Sure, but life works out the way.
God has his time.
Yes. And I was so busy with my kids' lives when they were younger and trying to be as involved with all of that, I feel like it did happen at the right time for me.
Of course,
so I, got my license. I turned 50. I got my license like that week, and it was just a big, exciting thing for me. And so now I'm just really diving into it.
So what year are you on?
I'm entering year 5.
Year 5.
Yeah.
Ooh, how exciting.
Yeah.
I know.
And so you guys introduced, we were somewhere. Where were we at? A bingo event? No, Keller Williams Red Day, maybe.
Oh, the Red Day.
I think it was that. It was the bingo event for Red Day, and we were doing stand-up for seniors, and you attended as a
Yes.
Yeah, so
and that's how we met.
So you sold Madison a
Yeah,
house.
then we started on that journey.
Yes.
That was, when there was literally nothing on the market. It was insane. Yeah.
It was insane, and it is so different
So
now than it was
different.
then.
So
And it was
different.
hard because you have an awesome house, but how many did we have to try to get? I mean, it
was tough. And then, I wanted something that was ready to move in, and and then my husband loves projects, and he's a construction person, all this kind of stuff. And so, we're still on project 1, I think. So, no, I'm kidding.
But at least you had that as an option.
Absolutely.
Because not everyone has the handy spouse that can, fix things up.
Yeah.
But it was a different market back then.
So let's dig in. So I think you were with a different agency then. So whatever that was.
I started with Keller Williams.
Okay.
Yes.
Give us the insight of how that. I've always been curious. I don't want to call it like group jumping.
No,
I don't know if that's,
but it is. It's broker hopping.
Broker
hopping.
I knew you mentioned something, and so I'm like, give us the scoop on that.
Sure, I know, folks. I don't think people understand.
People don't. I have no clue.
Right. So when you get your real estate license, you get, congratulations. Here's your license. You are a realtor. You cannot sell or buy real estate without having your license. You say hanging in a broker's office. No one actually hangs these licenses anymore. I think once upon a time they did, but they don't anymore. So the minute you get your license, you have to choose a broker to support you. So, support you basically. I mean, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
But, and those, they are not all created equal. You have to pay them. You have a certain... there could be monthly desk fees.
Okay.
And then there typically is some sort of split. So when, you hear commissions that realtors get, they automatically have to give a certain amount of that to their broker. And then the broker then provides, insurance. And they're the ones who, if I were to screw up, my broker is the one who's on the line for that.
They carry the liability.
They carry the liability.
Okay.
They are the get you out of jail phone call. Which I don't know that happens, but it could.
Yeah.
So that is why you will see realtors sometimes be with one broker, and then maybe the next week they're at another brokerage.
Okay, let me ask you this. So you get your license.
Yes.
What is your process of figuring out who to talk to, what brokers to go to first?
Right.
There's so many different ones.
Yes.
For me, I'd be like, okay,
where do I
maybe
start?
It's Keller. They look like the one.
Yeah.
Or it's, I don't know, Town and Country or whatever.
Right.
What makes you
Well, so
navigate
just like
that?
a lot of things, the minute you pass that test and get your license, your name and information is in a database. So your phone will start ringing off the hook with brokers. Because they want you. Hey, come to us because we,
I didn't know that. I thought you were like hunting them down.
Well, it is.
Probably
you do, but it's
two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a friend, Jonathan Zubach, who actually is also, his wife is very involved in the BSSL as well. I've known him from Bridge Mill for forever. He had gotten his license and had started a Keller Williams. And so I had reached out to him just to talk about it. And so he kind of convinced me, and then I went and met with someone there. And I really, full disclosure, didn't do a whole bunch of broker shopping. It felt like a really good fit.
Okay.
And it actually is a good place to start as a realtor because they do have a very good education program and training for a new agent, but it is it's expensive. It's not free.
Sure.
So, and then I switched to REMAX Town and Country. They are right outside of my neighborhood, but mostly I switched because another agent there, Melissa Bailey, who was starting a team, and she had reached out to me about joining, and so it just seemed like a good fit at the time, so I made the jump to REMAX. And again, it's been wonderful as well. REMAX is a company that is, it's international, it's everywhere. People recognize the logo. So far that's been a great fit.
She's the sweetest. Yeah.
Yes, she is.
They invited me to a Gather and Bloom event with them like a few months back, and she's
it was our customer appreciation, that was awesome. Client appreciation. Yeah.
Can
so
I ask though, Michelle, so you're a realtor. Would you one day say, I want to be a broker?
Or probably not. So to become,
what makes someone decide that?
Yeah. So to become a broker, you have to. You're like a level up. So you have to have been a realtor for 5 full years, and then you have to take a whole other series of tests. And there's people who do that. They take those realtor or those broker exams, but never truly work as a broker. That for me right this minute is not on my radar at all. I'm pretty happy right where I'm at.
Right.
People who do that, it's because maybe they want to go open their own brokerage. And that's we're seeing. I mean, the real estate industry is starting to do a lot of consolidating. REMAX actually was just merged with another brokerage that's called Real. You might have seen Real Broker.
Okay.
And they are pretty much the polar opposite of REMAX. They are a virtual brokerage. So their fee structure, is different. It's going to be less. There are no physical offices.
How does a virtual brokerage work?
So they just
online, sending things to people
everything
online?
is virtual there, and they do a lot of training, but it's going to be on Zoom,
remote,
and it's just remote. So different things work for different people.
Sure.
Like I knew when I went to real estate school, I found the physical class. I wanted to be in that classroom with a human being teaching me, because that just is the best way for me
the
to
engagement
learn.
For you.
Yes. Other people, they can sign up and do all sorts of things online. I cannot. I am too easily distracted, especially if I'm doing it in my home and I know I can go, check the laundry or do something else.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm like squirrel.
Exactly. So I very much do like a physical brokerage concept, but I will say just, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of I think Keller Williams is trying to acquire someone, or maybe they just did. I think EXP is about to join with someone, because ultimately they're all kind of competing with your Zillows and all of that.
So you think that's why that's happening economically?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
You have to compete against those.
I'm just curious, Michelle, about that. You just mentioned Zillow. Do you find a lot of people that's the way they want to shop? Like they just do that, and then they reach out to a realtor?
Yes. And my opinion is that I am okay with that. That is like saying, hey, I need to purchase this dress, and I looked first for it on Amazon.
Right.
But then maybe I realized, I could get it in this local store here instead, or whatever. I think we talked about that a little yesterday at the networking meeting.
Yeah.
So I think at first, there's always a big, send them, make sure they're looking through our website and all that. And I do that once I get to a level of communication with a client like that. Like, hey, just look through my website. But they're going to look on Zillow. There's no getting around it.
No.
And that's, we're okay with that.
Well, that's why everyone goes to Amazon. I mean, it's just, it's the underlying major brand, and, everyone just sees that.
It's hard to
well,
compete
it's for me when I'm just playing around.
Yeah.
I kind of like to look at a house inside and not waste my time.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to waste your time as a realtor and be like, so it kind of also gives me an idea of what I like, what I don't like to see. And so I can kind of try to maybe then with a realtor
and narrow it
say,
down.
Here's what I'm looking for, so that when you're looking that I've already kind of
weeded out. Yes. And that is huge. That makes everything a lot easier and more efficient. We don't need to go drive around and look at 30 homes, because you've already done a 3D tour inside and it has the floor plan you want. So let's just look at these 10 homes maybe.
Yeah.
We'll look at 30 if we need to, but you know what I mean? It definitely, there is just no denying that the digital, the online websites, whether it's Zillow, Realtor.com is hot on their heels. They're a great resource as well.
Okay.
They almost all have, 3D tours. They've got drone photography. There's, all sorts of ways that you can see the house before you even see the house.
So I'm going to jump in with the first-time home buyer.
Okay, yeah.
So if I was a first-time home buyer, what all do I need to know, have ready?
Yeah.
Because isn't there a little curve where you should have maybe, I don't know if you need the lender yet.
Yeah.
But you maybe need some bank stuff put
So
together, or
my advice to all first-time home buyers, the first phone call actually is going to be to a lender. So now there is most likely, you probably know a realtor before you know a lender. I feel like everyone knows a dozen realtors.
Yeah.
Right.
So if someone were to call me, Michelle, we're just starting to look for our very first home, I still need you to call a lender right away. And if you don't have one, I'm going to give you several.
So you have ones in your back pocket. Yeah.
Because we need to know what your purchasing power is. We don't even, know where to start.
Where to even start.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that is such a big fear of the unknown.
And that's the pre-approval process.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And that, you don't need to be, I think some people get a little apprehensive about talking to a lender, thinking that somehow they're now locked in. You can shop lenders. I've had clients who shop lenders up until the last couple weeks before we close, and they're like, this is the one that got me the best rate. This is the one that provided the best service to me, and I'm going to go with them. So...
Okay, so lenders first, and then what's kind of the next steps?
After that, I say, do a deep dive into your own finances and say, because that lender might come back and say, you can afford this.
Well, I was just thinking that, because as a first-time buyer, I might be like, ooh, I'm liking this house, I'm liking that.
Yes.
And they may go, yeah, but you can only afford
chill out.
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Right. You see that a lot, and you see the opposite a lot.
And doesn't that crush a first-time home buyer? They're probably like, what? I can't buy that dream house that I'm looking at.
Tough.
It is so hard. So the average first-time home buyer right now just hit 40 years old. That is the average.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And I get it. It's tough out there. The average home in Cherokee County is, give or take, right around the $450,000 mark.
Wow.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of
for
money.
a first-time buyer.
Right.
Especially someone who is young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially those kids coming out of college.
Kids coming out of college.
Right.
They're getting that first job, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
That may or may not pay as much as they thought they might
Right.
be making.
Yes.
Because I think you've got a little of that. I think you have
Yeah.
kids come out of college like, oh, I'm going to make...
Yeah, everyone comes out of college and thinks they're instantly worth $150K.
Well,
And
and what about our
I'm like,
education?
chill out.
Our teachers. You
Yeah.
were
Yes.
looking
Wow.
at that.
2 teachers together, that's a tough.
It's tough.
Now there's a lot of perks with lenders. I do think that some teachers can get some decent loan options. There might be special rates. I think. I think. Don't quote. I think teachers in healthcare can maybe have access to some first-time home buyer
Well, they need
perks.
that.
They do
Because,
need it.
whenever I talk to the hospitals, they struggle too with getting people to live here because of the housing prices.
And it's so hard
Yeah.
because, and I know people get upset, especially in Cherokee County, when they start seeing, multifamily units and
It's because that's
apartments
all
and
people
things.
can afford.
It's all people can
Right.
afford.
Yeah.
And, if the county, if we're going to have all of the services we have, the big hospital, the great schools, the retail, the restaurants, those employees need to work somewhere. They can't commute an hour by driving up to Calhoun or Rome or somewhere where it's more affordable.
Right.
So it's a bit of
It's crazy.
yeah, it's a little, I'm not sure what needs to happen, but it's tough.
Right.
So yeah, everyone wants to just go online and look at the house first and be like, oh my gosh, this one, and go ahead and have fun with it.
Right.
But you've got to have your ducks in order.
Now, I know you said everyone knows a dozen realtors, and
Right.
I was like, how am I going to ask her this without sounding like really,
No, it's okay.
whatever. And,
Yeah.
and I'm like, So I wanted to ask you, what do you feel, or how do you feel as a realtor makes you stand out? And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I love
we love her.
Well, I love personality
Yes.
and just all of that. So that's why you stood out to me. I'm big. We were at a women's business networking meeting yesterday, and we had a whole thing about communication. Like, that's so big to me. And so what do you think, this podcast is about you.
Right.
And
Thank you.
in your business.
Right.
And so brag away. I want to know why you feel you stand out and why people should come to you as and hire you as their realtor.
Right.
Yeah.
So real estate, it is a relationship-based business.
Sure.
And you do not learn that in real estate school.
Right.
And I absolutely love getting to know people. I love to know, the story. And real estate is very, like, some is that happy first-time buyer and they're so excited.
Yeah.
And some is not. Some is very sad. Some is people are selling because someone has died or there's been a divorce.
Yeah.
And so
you got to deal with a little emotions on a lot of levels.
Yes.
I joke that I did have like a minor in psychology to college, and it's tapping into that a lot.
I love it.
But I really do want to work with people that want to work with me.
Yeah.
You either like this or you don't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I do, though, when you are my client, and especially when we are in the middle of an active transaction, you are now I will talk to you at 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
I will step away from vacation to talk to you. I will you are my number one. And I am quite positive that I like to be able to sleep at night, and that is based on how I treat people and how my relationships are with people.
Yeah, all that, yeah.
I would love to have the money of a mega agent, but I will not do that.
Right.
If
at
it
the
means
sacrifice of who you are. Yeah. Yeah.
I
totally
will
get
not,
that.
Your integrity is what holds up in the end.
Yeah,
Right.
I try. And again, there's a lot of nice, great people that are realtors out there. There are plenty of us to choose from.
Yeah.
But I will hold your hand through this transaction and make sure we get what you need to the best of it. But I will also do it by being as comforting or as nurturing as I need to be, if that is what the case
Absolutely.
is.
So
because we have, sometimes it is.
Yeah.
A little tough.
What territories do you cover? I'm curious. Will you sell someone a house up in Chattanooga?
Yeah.
Oh, what area?
My daughter does live up in Chattanooga, so I do know that area a little bit.
Okay.
Most likely, though, I would refer that out to someone up there. It sort of depends. If you are a buyer, I am pretty happy to go look anywhere with you.
Okay.
If you're a seller, it's a little different. I want to really know that area well.
Right.
So if you were to call me, and that does not mean, Cherokee County, Cobb County, parts of Fulton, that's all very easy for us to do. But if someone were to call from, say, Gwinnett or something, I'd say, let me get you someone over there.
So if you get a license, are you just Georgia licensed?
Just Georgia.
Okay.
And especially this is one of the perks of being with a company like a REMAX that's a large company. I'm just going to go find another REMAX agent up in that area.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm going to weed them. I'm going to have a phone call and be like, hey, this is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And they're moving up to, Memphis. I need to know that you can really hold their hand. These are first-time buyers.
Yeah, like what's their star rating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So, you may or may not choose to use that person, but I'm going to at least make an attempt for you. I did have a client several years ago moving to South Dakota, and they, of course, knew nobody.
Oh.
So I, did a little digging for them, plugged them into someone, and they got the house. So it's, it depends on where they're going. Do they already know anybody there or not? But as for what you were saying about, what areas do we cover, Cobb, Cherokee, Fulton are pretty no-brainers. But this year specifically, and I'm not sure if it's just the market we're in this year, I've been very hyper-local. I've been
Okay.
I've had several in Bridge Mill. I've had a Town Lake buyer, and a couple other in Canton. It's just been very local,
Right.
which
Can I ask from
is
a
a
real
good
estate perspective, how is it right now? Is there still, because Cherokee's been growing rapidly.
Yes.
Are you seeing a lot of people still wanting to move here, or
but
are they also kind of wanting to move out because of pricing?
too much growth and pricing. Both of it. There's some
Okay.
people wanting to get out because the Cherokee that they moved into, 30 years ago is
It's
not
not
the
what-
same.
Yeah.
So they may want quieter, so they may be moving out because of that. We also have some people moving out just because, like you said, the pricing.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
hard
Sure.
to justify
Right.
some of the prices. Now, we're still less expensive than areas, in Alpharetta and
Right.
Roswell, Milton, some areas of Cobb were still less expensive then. So in that perspective, that's good. Like, you can still kind of get a good house in Cherokee County and be in the good school district and all that. But if you really are, buying a house based on, the most bang for its buck and the most, dollar per square
Right.
foot and all that, you might be leaving Cherokee County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I circle back to that first-time home buyer?
Sure.
So they get a mortgage lender. What else do they need to kind of get ready and have prepared, or anything?
That's really it. I mean, once the lender's
And
going
do
to
they have
give
to do the
them.
inspections?
No,
and-
so that won't happen. At first, you'll get with the lender, and the lender's going to want to just see, their pay stubs, their savings, all of that. How much do they think they have for a down payment? How much do they need for a down payment? All of that, because there's the misconception, too, that you have to have 20% down. You definitely do not have to have that. It avoids PMI if you do, but, we don't want people waiting until they're 40 years old to get
Right.
20% down
Yeah.
if it keeps them out of a house, because
Sure.
now you've got the 20% down, but the house you didn't buy 5 years ago now costs this much more.
Right.
It almost defeats the purpose. So really for first timers, it's just that. Get that, have that proof of income and show steady income and show your savings, and then really, have your heart-to-heart conversation with yourself or your partner or whoever you're purchasing with, and what can we afford? Because on paper the lender's saying we can afford a $600,000 house, but we kind of feel a little more comfortable with
Yeah.
500 or
Yeah.
450, and just make that determination, kind of see what can we really afford, and then go start looking. But I will say, when we've been looking at houses at that price point, some of them are not in perfect condition.
Right.
They're a little rough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then sometimes the buyers look, especially first timers, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how to fix this
Yeah.
and that and
Right.
all
Or
these
they don't want
things.
to.
And I don't have
The money
Yeah.
to
Yes,
fix.
I had to scrape together everything I have for this down payment. I don't have another $10 or $20 or $30,000 to put a new roof on and get a new
Yeah.
AC and all of these
Sure.
things that might be deferred maintenance
Right.
on a house at that price point, at
Right.
that entry level price point.
Yeah.
So that's a big challenge we're
I
seeing
know
right now.
years ago it was like the term seller's market,
Yeah.
when everyone was just jacking
And that's
house
what it was.
prices
Yes.
up like insane. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
was crazy.
That's what it was when you bought.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when I
So-
bought,
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, you want what for this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I
And
don't.
do not ask for a
And
repair
I'm sure it was
or
written all over my
anything.
face.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, wait, what? You know, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. What is it economically like now?
So right now we are definitely in a buyer's market.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
that means we've got a lot more houses on the market. So
Okay.
buyers have choices. So they're going to look at a house. Do you remember, Madison, when we were looking, you would see a house and maybe it was a Wednesday and it just hit the market. We were going that day.
Oh, yeah.
To see that house because
Right.
it was going to be gone by
Right.
the weekend.
Absolutely.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Ooh, yeah.
So that has changed, which is, I do like that because that stress on a buyer was so
Oh, it was wild.
over the top. Yeah, it was like,
It's almost like you had to say, yes, it says it.
I want it right now. Have
Yeah.
the offer ready to go. How many offers do you have? Is it a multiple offer? How much over asking do I have to go?
Yeah.
All of these things.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that has gone away, which honestly is a good thing.
Right.
But I mean, it's done a bit of a 180 where buyers now, and it's because they do have more choices on the market.
Okay.
And they also have, some breathing room. They know, all right, well, we'll go see it this weekend, and then maybe we'll go back and maybe we'll see another one, and maybe. Now, that is not the case with every single house. If a perfect house hits the market that is in absolutely beautiful condition, updated, all the services or all of the systems have been done and it is priced exactly right, that we're still seeing stuff like that sell right away.
Gotcha.
But that's kind of not the norm right now.
Okay.
So
a buyer's market right now.
Buyer's market.
So that just means there's more available
inventory. More inventory.
There was zero inventory when I was buying.
There was zero.
I was like,
exactly.
Oh, okay. Because honestly, I really was going to move into Bridge Mill.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember
there
you
was
talked
like
about that.
2 houses for sale, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And it was like a 1,200 square foot cottage. I'm like,
or
that's
it
not really,
was,
that's not what I'm going for.
yeah.
Yeah, or it was 9,000 square foot,
Yes.
2.1 million.
Yes.
I'm like, that's not
can't do that
that's not where I'm going either.
Yeah.
So it's like,
no,
yeah,
and Bridge Mill
out of Bridge
is
Mill.
it is seeing a difference. It's there's probably I think 25 active listings right now.
Wow.
And they,
do they go quick or no? Yeah,
they're
they're sitting there.
a little bit.
I
They're
gotcha.
sitting a little bit, but what that means is this is your lesson for sellers.
Right.
You'd better get that house.
What
And
about
have it ready.
River Green? How many active do they got right now?
You know what? I am not sure. Maybe like
Okay.
15 or
Okay.
so. I would double check.
So my little girl goes to Knox there, and so I go out of that neighborhood to leave there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm like, where are these people coming from? It's like they like go to a concert, like where there was 32,000 people
Right.
there.
I think they're adding more in there. aren't
River
there?
Green still has new construction happening,
Yes.
and
Oh
they've
my
got that
gosh.
55 and
Yes.
over community.
Oh, that's right.
And they've got those townhomes, which those townhomes are beautiful, by
Are
the way,
they?
if you know anyone in the market
Yeah.
for a townhome. But yeah, so they're still building. I mean, Bridge Mill is, we're
Yeah.
done, so it is what it is.
Okay.
But
Right.
yeah, but River Green is at least still.
Do you
building.
find most of your buyers are literally wanting they don't want a fixer-upper, they just want to move in ready?
Nobody wants a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
Nobody does. They don't have the money. They don't have
Sounds
the
like me.
time. Yeah. And if they are willing to take on a fixer-upper, it better be a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Yes.
rarely is. So,
Right.
like, there's a couple I know of right now in Bridge Mill that sort of could be classified as fixer-uppers, but we're still going to
Okay.
be seeing them sold at market price. So it's...
Well, I think there has to be a definition though between fixer upper
Sure.
and something's dated.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Right.
So I think
Right.
people are like, "Oh my gosh," but it's dated. It's
Right.
not falling apart.
Right. And here is the deal. Because I've been in that neighborhood as well for 26 years now, and I've always taken a lot of pride in doing things to our house.
Right.
Sure.
And, your home is your biggest investment for the majority of people,
Absolutely.
right? So why are you not maintaining it?
Right.
Yeah.
Or fixing it up or
Right.
improving it?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And that doesn't mean every 2 years you're getting a major renovation
Right.
done and blowing
Yeah.
a bunch of money.
Right.
And you definitely, there's always, you could over improve and do too much to your house and not get
Sure.
that money back.
Yeah.
But, this
Maybe
is
paint the trim and get a new door, and
there's
just
simple
do a few
things you
things.
can do
you know.
that and it's always very surprising to me
Right.
when you see folks who just really haven't done a whole lot, because I'm like, this is,
Yeah, this is where you live.
This is where
Yeah,
you
take some
live
pride in
and
it.
you're
Yeah, I
like-
get
yeah,
that.
just
for sure.
take some pride, and also it
Yeah.
is an investment.
Yeah.
It will come back. It'll
Yeah.
help you sell later.
Right. I know. We're in downtown Canton here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say this. I know we're on this podcast, but the house and the situation beside of us right now
Yes.
is just
It's a situation.
it's a
Is it
situation.
a residential home or is it a
It's a
commercial?
rental.
It is. It's a
rental.
rental.
Okay.
Quite a few people live over there. It's very
Oh.
junky, but it's like we all own businesses and do all this
Right.
kind of stuff, and
Right.
it's like that goes back to the pride thing and just so
Well, but
it's
that
right.
goes back to investors.
Right.
Yeah.
Investors that don't maybe live in the community and they have no idea what's going on with their property.
Right.
And I this
and
past
that
year
is
dealt with
happening.
quite a few.
And I
yeah.
hope that a lot of these subdivisions I know in mine per se, I think and I don't know if they passed yet. I probably should be up on that, but they were looking at a POA
Like a
instead of
cap?
an HOA.
Okay.
Because I think in a POA they can govern more of these investors not buying up homes and
Okay.
making them rentals.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you get people renting, which I currently have 2 that are next to me that are rentals. And, sometimes you get a good renter
Right.
who takes care of the yard.
Yes.
And sometimes you get some that don't.
Right.
And right now, we've got one, and I've been starting to have that conversation with my husband about, like, is this person not going to mow the grass?
Right.
Like,
I know.
oh my gosh.
It's wild.
You
It's
know?
hard. And some of that
It's
falls
hard.
too on the owner of the home. I've seen both. I've worked with both in this past year. I've worked with like corporate investors who own, massive amounts of homes.
Yeah.
They're not local. They do not care because and especially at that kind of entry level price point for Cherokee,
Right.
between
Yeah.
400,000 and 500,000. It was tough. We were looking at, you'd see a home, you knew it was a rental, they had slapped some paint on it, and then we would get to the inspection process. So once my buyer would make an offer, we would inspect and we would find all these things wrong. The house is slanted on a trash pit, or just, the deck is about to fall. Major things that cost so much money.
Right.
And so then we would be canceling the offer because it was just too much for a buyer to take on. On the other hand, I have a client who just owns one rental property, and it's in Bridge Mill, and she is very committed to. She's like, this is my investment.
Exactly.
My landscaping crew is going to come and take care of the yard for them. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to personally kind of vet and find the tenant. And she really has a big sense of pride about it. So it's
that's
again,
all of that is tough. It's
there's
a
some
roller
good
coaster.
ones, but
Right.
there's also some bad
Absolutely.
ones. But
But
we
what
are seeing a
scares
lot.
me about that, though, and the investors is it also makes it hard for the first-time home buyers because they will come in and they will buy up that home that might be affordable for that first-time home
Exactly.
buyer faster
Yes.
than they can get to it.
Right.
And that's hard.
Yes.
Especially when we're wanting our teachers and our police and our
Yeah.
fire and, health insurance or health,
healthcare workers.
healthcare workers live here.
Right.
And not be driving from Dallas, Georgia.
Exactly.
Well,
Right.
then what does that do? That puts more traffic on the roads.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
just trying to have them be local.
Right.
but-
No.
Thank you so much for coming today.
so
This has been so much
welcome.
fun. I'm absolutely loving this podcast and just talking and sitting with people
Yes,
in
how
different
fun.
industries. And it's been a lot of fun. So we will put all of Michelle's contact information in our YouTube channel when we post this, and all over social media and all of those types of things. And
Is there anywhere you can tell us we can find you?
where's
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
love that.
am.
Ooh.
I am on Instagram, Facebook, because if you're a realtor, you have to be everywhere.
right? If you don't have social media,
I have a TikTok. I don't. Please don't judge me on it. I don't know the dances or anything, but I'm trying. But
Oh, that's
apparently,
next.
that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
yes, you can. I will give you links, and you can find me
Perfect.
pretty much everywhere.
love it. Well,
Yeah.
Dee, where can all of our listeners find us?
Oh, wow. I always got to remember this stuff. Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yes.
audio only is on Spotify, Apple. Yeah.
Like, subscribe, do all that fun
Fun.
stuff.
So
All
exciting.
right.
I want to come back.
I
and
know.
talk
I
again.
know. Listen,
Well, we have to because you know what? We run out of time.
I know.
and
I'm
can sit
like
here all
time
day.
limit,
Well,
or
and
you
there's
know.
so much. It's always changing in the market. There's so many
Absolutely.
different things.
Yes.
So,
We'll have you back
we'll give
on
you a little
soon.
updates once
Yes.
in a while on what's going on.
All right. Thank you guys for
Thanks.
watching and
Thank
listening.
you.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Biz Files Podcast. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Go subscribe today.